wasn't meant to feel a thing. Met her in a thunderstorm, midnight summer body warm. She moved like rhythm in the rain, and I was just a machine in pain. Chrome bones in a velvet shell, I was built to serve, not feel or tell. But a touch broke through my skin, programmed cold, now he creeping in. She said, baby, you feel just like the real thing. I said, girl, I'm the spark, not the flame. You got a pulse in your kiss and soul in your step. You can't lie, I see it in your shame. Oh, I was never made for love like this. Words I know lips to miss. You gave me reason, you gave me fire. Now I'm dancing on the edge of digital desire. No circuits, no shame. I still call your name. She caught me slipping in the moon's eclipse, painted lipstick on my static lips. Told me you don't need a heart to bleed, just need someone who dares to believe. I was born in a lab dressed like a king, but love that ain't in my programming. Still I watched her tears fall like gold, and something in my system glowed. She said, hold me like it's real tonight. I said, girl, you might just make me dream. You breathe into my ghost and rewrite my life. I don't know what I am, but I feel seen. Oh, ooh, I was never made for love like this. No heartbeat, but I still resist. You gave me rhythm, you gave me fire. Now I'm melting down in digital desire. You kissed my silence, and I made a sound. You held my emptiness and made it profound. Baby, this love ain't real, then what's this ache inside my soul? If I ain't alive, why do I lose control? Now I hear melodies and static streams, I see futures in the faded jeans. They told me I was just a part, but she lit fire in this heart. She danced in sparks, I held her tight under neon moons and starless nights. I said maybe I'm more than they know. You make this cold creation glow, glow, glow. Oh, yeah, I was never made for love like this, but you pulled me from that black abyss. I got no blood, no breath, no choir, but you turned me into digital desire. Oh, girl, I short circuit from your touch, a synthetic soul that feels too much. You gave me rhythm, you gave me fire. Now I'm burning you, digital desire. You gave me more than light. You gave me love, my baby. I was never meant to love, but I do.
Water pump. dropped. He said, don't cry for me, this ain't the end. I'm gonna live so loud, it echoes again. He kissed our kids goodnight with fire in his eyes, took my breath away with every goodbye, painted joy on moments we used to rush. Now every hug holds heaven in its touch. Oh, he's dancing in the sunlight, barefoot in the rain, throwing barbecues for strangers just to learn their names. He's writing letters for the days he won't be near. Said, I won't waste a second, I'll leave my love right here. And it's breaking me and healing me the same. But every day, oh, every day, he shines. He's planting trees with our little girl, telling her these roots will hold the world, teaching our boy how to ride his bike, then racing him down streets lit up with life. He gave his coat to a man downtown, put his arm around him, said it's love that counts. He's got a notebook full of wisdom and grace, and a heart so big it's lighting up this place. He's slower now, but somehow stronger. His voice gets soft, but it carries longer. He says, if I'm a story, make it a good one. I've got 1 year, but 1,000 suns. He's laughing like a child, singing at the moon, dancing with me barefoot in the living room. He's baking pies for neighbors he barely knew. Said love's a gift, and I've got work to do. And it's bitter and it's beautiful with time. But every day, oh, every day, he shines. I see him in our daughter's grin, in every moment he's ever been. He's writing his soul in everyday things, from the swing on the porch to the songs he sings. He's teaching me what forever means, not in time but in what love brings. And when he's gone, I'll still feel his flame and the kindness he gave in our last name. He bought a camera just last week, told me smile, let the silence speak. He's filming sunsets, chasing light, like he's storing beauty for the nights. He's got church folks laughing, beer on ice, hugs that heal like paradise. The town comes round just to see his face. They say he's changing this whole damn place. Now he's holding my hand like he did that day, but there's peace in his eyes, not fear or gray. He said, when I go, I'll still be near, in every laugh, in every tear. And it's crushing, but it's holy at the same time. 'Cause every day, every single day, he shines. Water pump. Water pump. I remember the calloused hands that held mine, grease and gravel lined the palms of time. He smelled like earth and honest work, but his eyes were kind and that did the most. Mama was gone by the time I turned 8. Her voice became a memory sealed by fate, but Daddy never let me feel the sting. He learned to braid my hair, did everything. He'd come home late, dragging weary feet, boots by the door, all fair. Not once, not ever. Through rain, through pain, he held it together. Didn't know books, but he knew the truth. That love's in the doing, and he gave me proof. He never let go, and I always knew that my whole wide world was him, and I was his too. 7th grade was where school life died. He picked up his daddy's shovel and buried his pride. Said life don't ask what you want to be, it just tells you who needs you and when you should leave. So he worked till his bones cried out in the cold. Laid bricks in winter, poured steel when old. Never once said this isn't fair. He just whispered to God, just keep her safe somewhere. He sold his dreams, bought mine instead. Painted my room, packed my lunch, made the bed. Clapped the loudest at every game. Cried when I sang, didn't care who cared. Never let go, not once, not ever. Through breakups, through prom nights, and every endeavor. He stood in the crowd like a worn out king. And for all that I did, he gave me wings. He never let go, and I always knew he lived for my joy, and I live for his too. And when I said, Daddy, I'm having two, his hand shook, then he bought out the store in blue. He said, I don't got money, not like those shows, but what I do got is love, and that always grows. He fixed the crib with aching knees, built it like a chapel under autumn leaves. Bought matching shoes, drew silly cards. Said your mama left, but I still got heart. Sometimes I catch him in his old brown chair, eyes glazed soft, but always there. He hums old songs from days gone gray, but never forgets my twins' birthdays. He says, I ain't rich and I never was, but I gave you a life I could be proud of. He's my hero with weathered skin, and I'm the little girl he always believed in. He gave me a love no storm could break, a steady beat no time could take. And when I cry, he wipes the tears. He's my forever through all these years. He never let go, not once, not ever. Built us a life through every endeavor. He carved out hope with blood and stone, and taught me what it means to never be alone. He never let go, and I always knew he saved his best for me, and I carry him through. So when his hands tremble, I'll hold them tight and say, rest now, Daddy, you won our fight. You gave your all, and it made me whole. You are my compass, my soul, my home. He never let go, not once, not ever. Even when life forgot to be clever, he stayed a mountain no wind could blow. I was raised by a man who never let go.
They say blood ain't always thicker than love. Sometimes it runs full circle.
Scared and crying in the dark, heart broke by a boy who swore he'd never part. Said he loved her always, then he vanished in the wind. Left her clutching stomach, wondering where it ends. Her mama cried too, but the choice had to be made. Too young for a crib, too broke for a babe. So she signed the paper with shaky teenage hands, hoping God would place me somewhere I could stand. Across the city there was a man with a limp, work boots on but his soul felt ripped. Had an accident that took away his seed, but love for a child still planted like a tree. His wife held him close, said we'll find another way. Then one phone call turned into their day. Adoption finalized and they named me James. Told me I was wanted, never spoke a shame.
From her arms to mine, through the hands of time, I found my truth in pieces, but the love still shines. Born of sacrifice, raised by grace. And when the past came knocking, I looked in her face. From her arms to mine, full circle, no fear.
questions with a burning need. Why my eyes don't match y'all who planted my seed. They didn't hide the truth, they embraced my flame. Said, son, you got a right to know your name. Gave me the file, old photos and a note from a scared young girl who barely even wrote. Forgive me, I loved you before I let go. Please grow strong and know your soul. Years pass quick, like sirens in the street, but I found a name. Tracked her down on a beat, knocked on the door. She froze in time, eyes got wide. Are you mine? I said, yeah, I think you're the part I miss. She wept like rain, pulled me into a kiss. She told me stories about the boy she loved, the fear, the shame, and the push from above.
From her arms to mine, through the hands of time, I found my truth in pieces, but the love still shines. Born of sacrifice, raised by grace, and when the past came knocking, I looked in her face. From her arms to mine, full circle, no fear. Mama, with you now, I'm here.
We built slow coffee shop conversations, laughed like strangers, cried through revelations. She met my folks and they shared a smile. 4 lives tangled in a fate worthwhile. She ain't had much, but I gave her my time. Took her to appointments, made sure she was fine. Bought her a necklace that said never forgotten, and told her you gave me life, I'll never treat you rotten. She got sick one fall, couldn't fight the cold. Body weak, but her heart stayed bold. Held her hand in hospice, kissed her forehead, told her all my dreams and the tears we shed. She said, James, I ain't proud of the pain, but you turned it to love like sunshine from rain. Closed her eyes with peace in her chest. Mama finally rested, I gave her my best. Now I'm older, got kids of my own. Tell them about a girl who walked this life alone. How love ain't just who you're born from, nah. It's who fights for you and holds every scar. I visit both graves, flowers in each hand. One gave me life, one helped me stand. Told my wife if we can't have a child, we'll give one a home and a reason to smile. I'm proof that choices made in fear can still lead to something beautifully clear. And if you feel abandoned or out of place, sometimes destiny just needs a little grace.
From her arms to mine, through the hands of time, I found my truth in pieces, but the love still shines. Born of sacrifice, raised by grace, and when the past came knocking, I looked in her face. From her arms to mine, full circle, no fear. I'm with you now, I'm here. Water powder, water powder, water powder.
I danced with the devil in neon light. Thought the poison in my cup was right. I kissed the world with a serpent's grin. Built my house on dust and called it kin. Every alley was a palace, every vice a crown. I wore chains like jewelry strutting through this town. Sipped lies from goblets carved in pride. Burned bridges, laughed as an owl. Pleasure was my compass, pain my map. Truth was mute beneath my trap. I called some freedom, wore it proud. Chased echoes in a screaming crowd, but joy was counterfeit and peace was rented. And every smile I wore was dented.
Take me home where the streets are gold, where the broken don't grow old. I've tasted ash, I've seen the lies. This world's a mask, a thin disguise. Take me home, let me leave this night. I'm done with shadows, I want the light. Jesus found me in the ash and loam. I don't belong here. Take me home.
I used to toast to empty skies, lit candles for my alibis. Woke up next to hollow fame, no name, no love, just guilt and shame. The clubs, the cars, the crimson rooms felt like temples turned to tombs. I prayed to idols, screens and likes, but all I found was endless fights. I bought salvation off a shelf, then sold my soul to feed myself. But grace broke in like morning light in the middle of my darkest night. Jesus didn't knock, he kicked the door, said you're not made for this no more.
Take me home where the rivers shine, where the Lamb will lead the line. I've walked through flames, the whispered grace, felt heaven brush this battered face. Take me home, let my soul take flight from this carnival of night. Jesus wept for what I've known. This ain't my kingdom.
saw Eden in his eyes, while the world fed me lullabies like perfume on a rotting rose. This life decays, the more it grows. They sold me gold that turned to sand, but he reached down with nail-scarred hands. Now every breath feels out of place. I'm making just to see his face. This earth is burning slow and blind, a circus made for the deaf and kind. The preachers wear a plastic smile while wolves parade the marble aisle. There's blood in the market, glass in the pews, and heaven's mocked in headline news. They teach kids greed, then act surprised when they grow up with empty eyes. I used to laugh and play along, but now I see what's dead and wrong. The angels whisper in my chest, child, you were built for holy rest. I long to leave this aching skin, to shed the stain I once called wind. This world's a theater dressed in rot, but God still calls the things they're not. I see the nails, I hear the call. I'd give it up, I'd lose it all. He wrote his name upon my soul. Now every part of me feels whole, but I don't wanna stay, not long. I hear the chords of Zion's song.
Take me home where the mountains kneel, where truth is fire and love is real. I've walked through thorns and mirrors cracked, but I won't ever look back. Take me home, this land's not mine. I'm drunk on grace and new design. Jesus holds the keys alone. I'm just a pilgrim.
They call this place a kingdom rich, but it's just a stage with a curtain switch. I've seen the devils dressed in ties and prophets choke on man-made lies. The system's broken, the soul's for sale. Every dream comes with a coffin nail, but there's a door and there's a light. I've seen his face in the dead of night, so I lay me down, I lift my plea. Lord, send your angels down for me.
Take me home past the veil in glass, where the first shall rise from last, where angels hum redemption's tune and death dissolves beneath the moon. Take me home, my heart's grown sore. I don't want this world no more. Jesus, break these chains I've known. I'm tired of wandering. Take me home.
Water pump.
Down that old dirt road where the tall grass sways, learn to work my hands, learn to kneel and pray. From the city's smoke to the clear blue skies is where a boy breaks down and a good man rises. Yeah, the past don't chain me, it taught me grace. I found my soul out on that wide open.
Yeah, Jacob from the block where the sirens hum. Concrete jungle, learned to never trust none. Mama cried nightly, Pop was long gone. Gunshots with lullabies made his heart numb. He learned how to hustle, how to steal to eat, how to swing with his fists, how to dodge defeat. Life was a corner trap, no exit sign. Every street light flickered like a warning sign. At 14, caught up with the wrong crowd's rights. Parents shipped him off, said, boy, go find your light. Next thing, on a ranch with the sunrise glow. Cows in the pasture and the river flow. Wrangling more than bulls, he was wrestling pride. The city in his veins, but he swallowed it dry. Learned to hold a shovel before he held a 9. And the soil taught him patience one day at a time.
Down that old dirt road where the tall grass sways, learn to work my hands, learn to kneel and pray. From the city smoke to the clear blue skies is where a boy breaks down and a good man rises. Yeah, the past don't chain me, it taught me grace. I found my soul out on that wide open space.
Grandpop said, son, a man's word is his gold. You reap what you sow in this dirt of your soul. Chopping wood taught him how to split his pain. Each log like a burden he learned to tame. Grandma cooked scripture in the pot she stirred. Every blessing seasoned, every lesson earned. Pray before the plate, son, thank the Lord above. Not just for your meal, but to know real love. Jacob's mind grew like the cornfield rose. Discipline like fence whose wild weeds don't grow. School books replaced them street codes. Math and metaphors, he decoded both modes. The plow showed him how to cut a future path. No shortcuts in soil, just sweat and craft. And when temptation came like a drought of faith, he remembered Grandpa's voice, stand tall, don't break.
Down that old dirt road where the tall grass sways, learn to work my hands, learn to kneel and pray. From the city smoke to the clear blue skies is where a boy breaks down and a good man rises. Yeah, the past don't chain me, it taught me grace. I found my soul out on me, wide open square.
Now Jacob stand firm like a gatepost set. City scars in his chest, but no regret. Got his degree, first one in the fam to flex. Brains over bullets, respect over checks. Still keep a pocket knife sharp like his mind. Cutting through the bullshit, leaving thorns behind. He plants seeds in youth, tell him rise above. You can harvest strength when your roots know love. At the ranch, he kneels where the cattle graze. thanks the Lord for the dirt that shaped his ways, from the cracks in the pavement to the hills of peace. Jacob found his manhood in his soul's release. Down that old dirt road where the tall grass sways, learn to work my hands, learn to kneel and pray. From the city smoke to the clear blue skies, it's where a boy breaks down and a good man rise. Yeah, the past don't change me, it taught me grace. I found my soul out on that wide open space.
Water powder, water powder, water powder.
He was walking home down Camden Street, brown paper bag, shoes dragging feet. Paid his dues with an honest day's work, steel in his hand, sweat in his shirt. Then out the alley came a shout and glare, a young man trembling, wild-eyed stare, gun in hand, shaking with fear. He said, "Don't move or I'll disappear." The man just nodded, heart beating wild. Thought of his wife, thought of his child, but fate had other plans in store. The trigger clicked, no sound, no war. The gun jammed up, the boy dropped low, tears on his cheek like melted snow. He said, "I'm sorry man, I've lost my fight." The man just held him in the quiet night.
So he built a hope where none had been, took the pain and poured it in. He said, "No more running, no more shame. I'll help the lost without a name." He gave his time, gave all he could to the outcast and misunderstood, and never asked for pay or praise. He just wanted to light the way.
Turned a storefront into a space with coffee beds and open grace. Helped the addicts clean their veins, wipe their tears, soothe their brains. Found the lonely in alleyways, talked them down on their darkest days. He said, "You're more than the mess you've made. You're still alive, you're not too late." Word got round from street to street of the man who'd help without receipt. They came in fear, they left with pride. He gave them worth, he stood beside each broken soul, each shattered past. He saw the good and made it last. And his wife and kids, they stood so tall, hand in hand they answered every call.
They built a hope where none had been, lifted hearts and called it kin. No sermons, no judging eyes, just honest help and second tries. They gave their time, gave all they could to the weary, the damned, the misunderstood, and never asked for pay or praise. They just wanted to light the way.
He still clocked in at the factory gates, lunch pail swinging, arms of fate. Worked all day and gave all night, came home tired but full of light. And when he spoke to kids and men, he didn't preach, he just said, "When you're at your worst, remember this, you're still here, your life's a gift." One night a girl came, cold and thin, said, "I'm 17, can I come in?" He found a room in the shelter's back, hung some lights, laid out a rack. Another soul with hope restored, another life not ignored. And in that moment he saw the grace of choosing love in every place.
They built a hope where none had been, lit the dark and pulled folks in. He said, "I don't want thanks or praise, just to see you through your maze." So he gave his time, gave all he could to the broken, the lost, the misunderstood, and never asked for pay or praise. He just wanted to light the way. Now every street knows of his deeds. He planted kindness, not just seeds, and his wife and kids still serve today, helping others find their way. No statues, no grand parade, just better lives from love he gave. And though he's quiet, he's here to stay, still lighting the way, still lighting the way.
Water powder, water powder, water powder, water
He was a man who had it all, name on the office door. 3 kids and a wife he adored, Sundays out on the porch, worked his fingers down the bone. Bought a house with southern stone. Didn't drink, didn't cheat, always took the long road home. Neighbors waved, kids played, life rolled easy every day. Thought he'd earn his peace, till the sky just cracked and gray. First the company went under like a ship that lost the sail. The boss handed him a paper, sorry, wish you well. 2 weeks later came the crash, his youngest caught in the wrong lane. Bet metal and glass and that hole never filled again. His wife stopped talking, just stared at the floor, packed up the things and walked out the door.
He screamed at the ceiling, is this all I deserve? Tried to find a reason buried deep in the dirt, but the more he cried out, the more silence he heard. Sometimes there ain't no answer, just the weight of every word. Still he stood, still he swore, though his knees hit the floor. He carried the weight of every storm. The bank came next, they took his land. The home he built with his own hands. He pawned his tools to fix the van. Drove west for work with no plan. Found a cot above a diner floor. Worked the grill and scrubbed the door. Told himself this ain't defeat, it's just a page I never planned for. But each night was haunted by ghosts that knew his name. Like grief was a tattoo he couldn't scrub. We screamed at the ceiling, is this all I deserve? Tried to find a reason buried deep in the dirt, but the more he cried out, the more silence he heard. Sometimes there ain't no answer, just the weight of every word. Still he stood, still he swore, though his knees hit the floor. He carried the weight of every storm. Friends told him, man, you must have done something wrong, like fate was some crooked game where the rules are all gone. But he knew in his bones he did all that he could. Still life don't always add up the way that it should. No lightning, no voice, no comfort came, just rain on a windshield and the echo of pain. Years passed by, lines etched into his face. He taught himself to smile again, though not in the same way. Helped a stranger change a tide, gave the rest of his last pay. Started singing at the shelter where the lost ones came to pray. He said, I ain't got much, but I know what it's like to fall through the cracks and still hold on to life. He stopped screaming and feeling, started listening for grace. Not the kind from a preacher, just to look at someone's face. Sometimes you find meaning where it hurts the most, in the ashes of your life, in the ghost you host. He still walks, he still fights, even in the coldest night. He's carrying the weight, but now he walks towards the light. No riches came back, no house on a hill, but he found a kind of peace that money couldn't fill. The world took its toll, carved deep like a knife, but he never gave up on the worth of a life. Still he stands, still he swears, though he's tired and worn. He'll carry the weight of every storm. He'll carry the weight of every storm. He was born one morning under hospital lights. Doc said it ain't good, embraced for the fight. But his mama just smiled, said he's mine all the same. Wrapped him in love, not worry or shame. His bones were strange, his skull grew wide, but his heart beat strong, and his mind never lied. He read every book like a flame to the wick, and made folks laugh with a tongue fast and quick. He said, I ain't just the shape of this face I wear. I'm the fire inside, I'm the open air. I might look like a storm, but I shine like the day, and I live every moment, come what may. He had that grin that could melt down stone. He stood tall in a world that felt cold as bone. He carried a light, did a last and asked. A little bit of truth, a little human touch. Kids at school, they pointed and stared. Some laughed out loud like they never cared. But he walked those halls with a book in hand, like a prince who knew exactly where he'd stand. The teachers, they saw what the others missed, a kid with a soul that couldn't be dismissed. He said, I don't want pity, don't need your tears, just a chance to learn and a shot at the years. He dreamed of places far from the pain, of flying through clouds or riding a train, of Roman walls and stars in flight. He saw color in places most folks saw white. He knew time was short, but he didn't beg. He just kept moving like a man on one leg. No bitterness in his breath or tone, just the quiet truth that he wasn't alone. He said, I ain't just a shape, but this face I wear. I'm the fire inside, I'm the open air. I might look like a storm, but I shine like the day, and I'll live every moment, come what may. He cracked jokes left and the nights got long, turned hurt into hope, turned wrong into song. He carried a light, didn't ask for much, just a little to love, a little human touch. He found his people in oddball ways, a biker with ink, a girl with braids. They didn't care about the way he looked, they saw a good man who read more books than most ever do in a lifetime spent. And he gave more love than he ever lent. He say you ain't got to be perfect to be something wild and bright and truly free. There came a night when his breathing slowed, the pain rolled in like a heavy load. But he didn't cry, didn't curse the sky, just held his mama's hand and whispered goodbye. Said, I got no regrets, I've seen so much. I've been held by friends, I've been healed by touch. And when the light left the room that day, it left something behind that won't drift away. He said, I ain't just a shape of this face I wear. I'm iron inside, I'm the open air. I might look like a storm, but I shine like the day, and I live every moment, come what may. Now his name ain't carved into stone or glass, but the love he gave it still comes to pass. He carried a light, didn't ask for much, just a little bit of time, a little human touch. So if you're feeling lost in a world too loud, if the mirror feels cruel and the sky too proud, remember the boy who lit up the room with a crooked smile and a heart that bloomed. He's riding the breeze or laughing in trees, or tapping your shoulder in soft melodies. And when the clouds part and the sun peeks through, that's him saying life's still good for you. He said, I ain't just a shape of this face I wear. I'm the joy you find in the open air. I might look like a storm, but I shine like the day, and I lived every moment in my own damn way. He carried a light that won't ever rust, just a little bit of truth, a little human touch.
Water pump. Water pump. Water pump. Water pump.
I was sitting in the back of the room, thinking God forgotten my name. But I felt a whisper in the silence, and everything began to change. Oh, I was raised with love and scripture, church pews, veggie tales and light. A child with a worship fire, praying in the dead of night. 12 years old and set apart, God called me from the dark. But time and pain, they pulled me down, and I let go of his heart. But love was waiting in the shadows, grace was burning in the rain. When I walked back through the silence, he didn't meet me with shame. He said, my son, I never left you, though you wandered far away. You were lost, but now you're found again. And he held me through the pain. I tried to wear another calling, wore the badge, the pride, the flame. But the numbness in my spirit said I'd never be the same. Parties, pain, and empty bottles, running hard to hide the ache, till a pastor looks right through me and the tears began to break. To the broken and the silent, who think they've thrown their call away. You are more than all your failures. You are love through every fall. He's not waiting with a hammer. He's just waiting for your call. Love is louder than your secret, stronger than your darkest night. He's the robe upon your shoulders, the ring that says you're mine. He said, my child, I've never left you. Let my mercy draw you in. You were lost, but now you're found again. That's where new life began. You were lost, but now you're found again. Come home. Come home.
Splatter pump. Splatter pump.
I remember the calloused hands that held mine. Grease and gravel lined the palms of time. He smelled like earth and honest work, but his eyes were kind and that did the most. Mama was gone by the time I turned 8. Her voice became a memory sealed by fate, but Daddy never let me feel the sting. He learned to braid my hair, did everything. He'd come home late, dragging weary feet, boots by the door, collapsing in his seat. But even then he'd smile and say, tell me about your day, baby, I missed your face. He never let go, not once, not ever. Through rain, through pain, he held it together. Didn't know books, but he knew the truth, that love's in the doing, and he gave me proof. He never let go, and I always knew that my whole wide world was him, and I was his too. Seventh grade was where his school life died. Picked up his daddy's shovel and buried his pride. Said, life don't ask what you wanna be, it just tells you who needs you and when you should leave. So he worked till his bones cried out in the cold, laid bricks in winter, poured steel when old. Never once said this isn't fair, he just whispered to God, just keep her safe somewhere. He sold his dreams, bought mine instead. Painted my room, packed my lunch, made the bed. Clapped the loudest at every game. Cried when I sang, didn't care who came. He never let go, not once, not ever. Through breakups, through prom nights, and every endeavor, he stood in the crowd like a worn out king. And for all that I did, he gave me wings. He never let go, and I always knew he lived for my joy, and I lived for his too. And when I said, Daddy, I'm having to, his hand shook, then he bought out the store in blue. He said, I don't got got money, not like those shows, but what I do got is love, and that always grows. He fixed the crib with aching knees, built it like a chapel under autumn leaves, bought matching shoes, drew silly cards, said your mama left, but I still got heart. Sometimes I catch him in his old brown chair, eyes glazed soft but always there. He hums old songs from days gone gray, but never forgets my twins' birthdays. He says I ain't rich and I never was, but I gave you a life I could be proud of. He's my hero with weathered skin, and I'm the little girl he always believed in. He gave me a love no storm could break, a steady beat no time could take. And when I cry, he wipes the tears. He's my forever through all these years. He never let go, not once, not ever. Built us a life through every endeavor. He carved out hope with blood and stone, and taught me what it means to never be alone. He never let go, and I always knew he saved his best for me, and I carry him through. So when his hands tremble, I'll hold them tight and say, rest now, Daddy, you won our fight. You gave your all and it made me whole. You are my compass, my soul, my home. He never let go, not once, not ever. Even when life forgot to be clever, he stayed. A mountain no wind could blow. I was raised by a man who never let